Hello everyone and welcome to another random bits and pieces segment from my brain, and today, sit a while for we are playing some more Franchise Hockey Manager 7 with my historical challenge using the Tampa Bay Lightning. Alright, so we have one injury that is not going to last all that long, and it is Danton Cole, which is probably going to be one of our good players this year, so hopefully he's going to be there for the start of the season. That's in 5 days at home against the Chicago Blackhawks. Now, prior to the video, I did a lot of tinkering on my lineup, so I decided on who is making the team out of camp, and I also assigned roles for everybody, did all of my lines, chose my tactics and everything. So yeah, that took a little bit, and that's not something that I have done in the past. So if you've followed my Franchise Hockey Manager 6 series, then you know that it's not something that I used to do. So that was a little new for me, and we'll see if I did good or not. So this is the team that's going to be playing. Now, as soon as Danton Cole comes back from injury, I will scratch Basil McRae. But anyway, so in net we have Pat Jablonski and Wendell Young. Of course, Wendell Young is going to be our starter. He's a 3-star player. I mean, he should be able to keep us in some games, but it might be a little bit overwhelming for him. We don't have that strong of a team. Then I have Bergevin, Chambers, Crossman, Amerlik, Joricki, and Karpovtsev on D, with Karpovtsev being the odd man out, at least for now. So I'm going to go with... and Rob Ramage. I forgot Rob Ramage right there. So... Karpovtsev for now is going to be sitting the bench. I might change that. Now, I don't expect to be changing my lineup, every game, unless there's injuries, of course. But probably after each month of play, I'm going to evaluate who's playing, well and whatnot, and take it from there. And maybe change tactics if I see that, I chose really poorly prior to this video, so that absolutely can happen. Alright, so we have Mikael Anderson, Mike Hartman, Chris Kontos, Basil McRae, Rob Zamuner, Brian Bradley, Mark Bureau, Adam Creighton, Brent Gretzky, Ken Hodge, Jason Lafreniere, Tim Berglund, Danton Cole, and Rob DiMaio. So those are all the players that made the team. Overall, a little bit stronger than, if you were to start with the Sens, which was the other expansion team that year. So as far as my lines and everything, so this is what I'm gonna go with for now. I have a lot. I have playmakers and back-checking forwards a lot. I don't really have a lot of people to put the puck in the net. I believe once Danton Cole makes it into the lineup, I'm probably gonna set him for some form of shooting type of player. But for now, that's what we have. So it's not that great. But I've set my strategies so that we play pretty defensively and pretty responsibly. So hopefully we can kind of stay in games by playing soundly defensively. I have quite a few back-checking forwards that are not too bad at it. So hopefully, with that being said, I'm going to be able to... Oh, I forgot to change that here. There you go. So hopefully we can contain the opposition in some games. Now I know that the tactics are really kind of a mix and match. That tactic works best against that one, and again, I'm not gonna go and change that after every game. That would be crazy. That's what hiring a head coach is for. But we're gonna try a month like that and see what happens. Initially, I wanted to start Amerlik scratched because he's young and everything, and give Karpovtsev the nod, but Amerlik is better than Karpovtsev in a lot of ways. So we're starting with this here again. That might change, and of course there's going to be injuries and whatnot, and I'm going to need to change everything. When that happens, if that happens during the video, I'm going to pause because it takes a while, and that's probably not all that interesting to look at me just drag and drop players around. As far as my tactics, they're here. So as you can see, I have my neutral zone coverage of the 131 Boucher. So Boucher coached in Tampa Bay, and you know, I'm an Ottawa Senators fan, and we had him as a coach as well. And for now, I don't have great talent on the team, so I think that's going to help us out. So anyway, that's about it. I wanted to make sure that I was showing everybody, you know, that I did what I said that I was going to do, which is to make my own lines and everything, and set the roles and everything. That was kind of fun. I kind of liked having to look through all of that, so definitely something that I am going to keep doing. Now, with that being said, I think it is time to get the video really started. So we're gonna go ahead and start simming. In 5 days we are going to be hosting the Blackhawks, and that's going to be the start of the regular season. And then don't forget, the last game of the month, I will actually show the gameplay with the 2D engine, and we will see what happens from there. I might not narrate all that much during that game because I tried it in Franchise Hockey Manager 6 and I couldn't keep up. So even on slower settings. So yeah. Alright, so let's go ahead and click on continue, not go to play, continue. Alright, let's go ahead and see what they have to say. Coach reports on new players. Alright. Alright, and all of those guys have to clear waivers. That's fine. Now, I don't know if that's something that they fixed. I know that in Franchise Hockey Manager 6, the computer never claims your players on waivers. At least in historical play. I don't know if that's still the case or not. I guess we're about to find out. Alright, so I do have one spot where I could pick up a waiver if I wanted to. Ooh. Bobby-Alec, really? I'm thinking about it. I hate having my maximum number of contracts, especially that early in the season. But Bobby-Alec would be a pretty good addition to us. And keep in mind, we have a time limit here. We have 10 years to win the cup. I'm claiming Bobby-Alec. There you go. Now, I don't know if I'm going to get him, but I've claimed him. I'm going to put him in the minors to start, but yeah. Alright, let's advance that. Yeah, okay. Alright, so now I have to protect my players here, so I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and do that. You know, it's gonna be taking a second here, so let me go ahead and pause that, and I will be right back. Alright, and we are back, and I have mostly just protected everybody that made the team, so that was in there. So, you know, all of those guys are not on the lineup, so, I mean, if they get claimed, they get claimed. I mean, I'm not hoping that they do, but, I mean, if some of them do, I don't think it's going to be the end of the world. So we're going to go ahead and continue here. Oh, yeah. Alright, so we did get Bobby-Alec. So that's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about that. Danton Cole might be ready to play here. New pads for Extol. That's news that was also in the previous game. I'm not sure what that does, though. Fans of the Quebec. Of the Quebecois. Okay, looks like a little bit of a mistake here. Fans of the Quebec Nordiques will see something different from Ron Extol in the team's next game. The goaltender will be wearing a new set of pads that he hopes will improve his ability to control rebounds. Ah, that's what it does. The pads I'd been wearing tended to kick out rebounds pretty far, said Extol, and I think this pair should cut down on that and let me do a better job of directing them to our defenseman. Alright, so a little bit more explanation on what that does. They changed the text for that compared to last year. Alright, and the 1992-1993 season preview. So with the National Hockey League season about to get underway, the early Stanley Cup favorites appear to be Pittsburgh, led by center Mario Lemieux. Yeah. General manager Craig Patrick has built a squad that will be the team to beat this year, but he can expect challenges from Nick Beverley's Los Angeles Kings and Detroit, featuring center Steve Yzerman. Among the dark horses, Chicago stands out as a possible challenger with a big season by Chris Chelios, capable of pushing them into contender status. The scoring race will likely see Pittsburgh's Mario Lemieux challenged by Wayne Gretzky of Los Angeles and Toronto's Doug Gilmour. The top defenseman in the league is generally considered to be Boston Bruins blue liner Ray Bourque, with Chicago's Chris Chelios and Scott Stevens of New Jersey also in the running. Finally, among goaltenders, Montreal's Patrick Roy stands out as the league's best, while Chicago Blackhawks netminder Ed Belfour and Bill Ranford of Edmonton can also steal games for their teams. Alright, so as you can see from there, that's going to be a tough season for us because we are in the West, and a lot of what they're saying has to do with the Western Conference. I keep saying Campbell Conference, sorry. They changed the names shortly after that. So it's going to be pretty tough. Chicago on our side, Edmonton on our side, Toronto is on our side. Sorry. LA is on our side, Detroit is on our side, so a lot of teams that are mentioned here that are supposed to be pretty good are all on our side, so that's going to be a tough season. I actually think that once we move to the East, I think we're probably going to do a little bit better. And something that I wanted to mention at the start of the video, and I forgot because that's how I am, I'm expecting for us to be in the playoffs in our third year. If it happens before that, that's awesome, but by our third year, I'm expecting for us to be in the playoffs. So that's kind of a stretch goal that I'm putting on myself here. Alright, so... Alright, the waiver draft. I don't have room for anybody. And I already picked up somebody on waivers. I don't know if it's a mistake or not, because this is new. They haven't stated the waiver draft, which is historically correct, but I was still able to get a waiver player prior to that, which probably doesn't make much sense in that respect. I don't want to pick... I can't pick anybody. I have 50 players. Alright, let's just do that. Oh god, we did. Oh no, okay. Oh, we did pick up Kevin Lowe. Okay. I thought that I wouldn't get to pick if I chose that option, so I'm sorry about that. Like, again, that's new. That wasn't there before, so... what am I gonna do with Kevin Lowe? I'm gonna put him in the minors, I think. I don't know. Whose place is he gonna take if I keep him? Alright, let's just continue here. Alright, so now... Oh, that's completely new, so sorry if I look lost and everything. That's definitely something that used to not be there. So if I go here, I should be able to see... Nope, not here. It said that it would be in the unsigned, but I'm not seeing him here. No. Okay, that's weird. Am I not looking in the right spot? Well, I don't see Kevin Lowe anywhere, so I guess I'm just gonna let him go anyway. I don't really... Alright, sorry about all that. Okay, so let's go ahead and send Bobby Olick down. Oh, he's right there. Kevin Lowe is right there. Okay, he's very defensive, but yeah, just go down. There you go. I didn't even want you to start with. Alright. That was a lot of shenanigans. Alright, so we are going to move forward. Alright, so Danton Cole is almost back, and then those guys need new numbers. I thought that I gave that to my assistant coach. There you go. Those were players that already had numbers and just wanted a new one, so... Alright, and then one more day and we are finally going to start that season for real. Alright, so a few players on waivers. I'm not going to pick them up. Oh, now that's gonna suck for the Flames. Alright, so the season is on the way. We haven't played, but teams did play, and the Flames lost Gary Suter to a torn triceps. So he's out for 3 months. First game of the season, Gary Suter out for Calgary, one of their best defensemen, along with Al McInnes. That's gonna hurt for them. Wayne Gretzky played in his 1000th game in his career. Oh, and we have the little arm thing going again. Alright, so Gretzky played in his 1000th game. That was in that game against Calgary where Gary Suter got hurt, and Gretzky celebrated with 2 goals and 2 assists. So, little game for Wayne. Scott Mellenby set everything up tonight for Edmonton against Vancouver. He had 4 assists. That's pretty cool. There was no stopping Dave Gagner in Minnesota. He had 3 goals and an assist against the Blues. Alright, and Danton Cole is back from injury, so I'm going to insert him into the lineup. So I'm going to yet again pause the game, and I apologize for that, although I don't think that it makes that big of a transition, especially for a game without music. I don't think it makes a big splash or anything, so I'm going to go ahead and pause, put Danton Cole in, choose his role and whatnot, and we will finally play against Chicago. I will be right back. Alright, and we are back again. So I've put Danton Cole on my first line, and I have set him as an aggressive forechecker for now. So we'll see what happens with that. So, alright, for real now, we are going to get this season underway with the Chicago Blackhawks in town. So we're going to take a quick look at their lineup. So, they do have one injury, which is Steve Larmer, but he might be able to play. So we did just play them in preseason, so the you know, the lineup is pretty much the same. So Belfour and Tosio in net, Kravchuk, Marchment, Steve Smith, Carl Dykhouse, Keith. That's Keith Brown, right? Yep. Chris Chelios, Francis Cusera, Greg Gilbert, Michel Goulet, Mato, Urkus, Hudson, Ronick, Rutu, Sutter, Christian, Graham, Larmer, Lemieux, Noonan, and Rob Brown. So this is who we are going to be facing here in our first game ever. Alright, so let's go ahead and sim that. Alright, so the Blackhawks are going to go with Ed Belfour, and we are going to go with Wendell Young, and go Lightning go. This is the start of a fun adventure here, and hopefully my tactics shall prevail. Okay, not so much for the first game. We lost 6-0. Oh boy. Alright, so not a lot to unwrap here. Chicago dominated us for the shots, 41-26. Ed Belfour was the first star of the game. He made 26 saves and, of course, got the W with the shutout. Igor Kravchuk was the second star of the game with a goal and an assist, and Brian Noonan was the third star with 2 goals. We only had 9,423 people in attendance for our opener for the franchise. That's not a lot. And yeah, we didn't exactly deliver. They might not come back. Alright, so let's see. Did anybody fight? Nope, nobody fought, but we did take a bunch of penalties. Alright, well, that's a game to forget. Hopefully we do better soon. So that's Jeff Finlay, Rob Dirk. Which Erickson are you? Ian Erickson, Stu Grimson, and Glenn Featherstone are all on waivers. I cannot pick up anybody, actually. I'm wondering what happened with Kevin Lowe, because I had already... Oh, I lost players. Oh, I lost players to the waiver draft. I lost Peter Taglianezzi and somebody else. Okay. All good, all good. Right, so let's advance that. We are going to be hitting the road here in a couple days and play against the Minnesota North Stars. Hopefully we manage to score a goal in that one. Alright, so Esa Tikkanen in Edmonton is suspended. He's going to miss 5 games. Jari Kurri scored his 500th goal in his career with a goal against Detroit. So 32 years old, Jari Kurri, still a 3-star player. No further action needed for San Jose's Pat McLeod. Excuse me, Pat McLeod. So been looked at but not suspended. Alright, and we're going to sim one more day. Oh, looks like Mark Messier is hurt. He is day-to-day. A lacerated hand. Alright, so we are going to be facing Minnesota in Minnesota. They have won their first 2 games of the season. We have not played them, of course, this season yet, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at their lineup. Alright, so Mike McPhee is hurt, so he may or may not play. In net, Minnesota as John Casey and Darcy Wakaluk. We also played them in preseason, so the lineup is not all that different. Darren Hatcher, Jim Johnson, Craig Ludwig, Richard Medvedchuk, Mark Tinordi, and Tommy Shodin on D. Ulf Dallin, Gaetan Duchesne, Brian Propp, Neil Broden, Todd Illick, Dave Gagne, Kip or Kevin Miller, Kip Miller, Mike Modano, Dan Quinn, Bobby Smith, Michel Mongeau. Oh, they picked up Michel Mongeau from us on the waiver draft. I didn't protect him. And then Ross Courtnall, Trent Klatt, and Jere Lehtinen. Alright, so let's see if we can beat the North Stars. That would be nice. Or actually, just scoring a goal would be an improvement over last game. Alright, so we're going to go with the same lineup, of course. We want to see what we have. So we're going with the right arm of Wendell Young in net, and they are going to go with Darcy Wakaluk. And we lost 1-0, so we played 2 games and we couldn't score a goal, so maybe I'm not that good at picking strategies after all. We were outshot 30-23 in that game. Craig Ludwig was the first star of the game. He had an assist. Joe Rickey was the second star with no points, and Gaetan Duchesne was the third star with a goal. So the only goal of the game was in the second period. Gaetan Duchesne scored short-handed, and that was it for us. Now, I already knew coming in that I would have problems scoring goals. I pointed it out. I don't really have shooters on the team. I mean, we did put some shots on goals, but we cannot score, apparently. So that might be something that I'm going to address sooner rather than later. Maybe just change the tactics a little bit, or I don't know what I'm going to do. But we cannot win games if we don't score goals. All right. What do we have here? Frederick Lawson has a great game playing for the Jets. He had 4 assists against the Kings. And Sandis Ozolinsh with the Sharks was looked at but is not suspended. That's 2 Sharks players in a short time that are not suspended. And strong game for Nicholas Lidstrom, who had 4 assists against the Sharks in that same game. Now, if you know me already, you know that Nick Lidstrom is my favorite player that I have seen play. And sadly, he's so good that it's impossible to trade for him, so I just have to be satisfied with watching him do well in Detroit. Alright, so now we are going to be playing in Chicago. Of course, we just played them and lost. I'm going to go ahead and change. That's 2 games in 2 nights, so I'm going to go ahead and change my goaltender for that particular game. And we're going to go with Pat Jablonski against the Blackhawks here. Alright, so hopefully we can score a goal. That's forget my stretch goal of wanting to be in the playoffs in 3 years. My new stretch goal is score a goal. Alright, so Pat Jablonski in net for us. Renato Tosio in net for the Blackhawks. Alright, go Lightning, go. Alright, we lost again, but good news, we scored 2 goals. Alright, so we're going to need to start winning eventually. I'm not that worried about this particular season. Like I said, we're playing in the West. It's going to be... Okay, sorry, I'm just going to say playing in the West. So it's going to be tough for us this season. But yeah, and then we're probably going to get a good... draft pick or something. We did outshoot Chicago in that game to 32-24, so we applied some good pressure and everything, but you know, we just couldn't win. So 32-24 the shots for us. Michel Goulet was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Tim Berglund for us was the second star with a goal, and Mike Hudson was the third star with an assist. So Chicago scored 3 goals in the first period. That was pretty tough all in itself. And then we had to wait all the way close to the end of the game in the third period to see our first goal of the season. And it was scored by Chris Kontos from Sean Chambers and Ken Hodge. It was at that point 3-1 Chicago. Then Tim Berglund gave us some hope by scoring from Adam Creighton and Mike Hartman. It was 3-2 Chicago at that point with less than 5 minutes to go. But we just couldn't tie the game and bring that to overtime. So all in all, that's a decent showing for us. We couldn't capitalize on the power play or anything like that. We had 7 power plays and we couldn't capitalize on that. But all in all, I think that's definitely our best game of the season so far. Oh, apparently I'm angry. The game cannot tell me how to feel. What is that nonsense? Tampa Bay head coach Jesse Bonhomme blasted the media today over what he considered to be negative coverage of his team. You guys are really something, you know that? Bonhomme shouted at reporters. I also waved my fist in the air to show my anger. All you want to do is place blame. Why can't you focus on what we're doing that's positive? Some of our guys are putting up great numbers this season. Yeah, no, okay, I'm just lying. But you never talk about that. It's just a matter of getting everyone together on the same page. But you guys making your snide remarks isn't gonna help us with that, is it? Bonhomme then abruptly stepped away from the bank of microphones and stormed angrily out of the room. Oh my god. Look at me, I have a anger problem. They're gonna send me to anger management classes. Red light stays on for Kirk Muller in Montreal. He had a hat-trick against Buffalo. And the league says no suspension for Peter Klima in Edmonton. Alright, so we are going to put Wendell Young back in net. Maybe we would have won that game if Wendell Young would have been in net for that one. So that's a long road trip. So we went to Minnesota, Chicago, now we're going to St. Louis, and then Toronto and Buffalo before we end up back home for a few games. And looks like our game that's going to be broadcasted in 2D is going to be against San Jose. Alright, so we are going to move one day here, nothing of note going on, and now we are playing against the Blues in St. Louis. St. Louis is 0-2-1 this season, so that's good for 10th in the West here, or in the Campbell Conference. Alright, so St. Louis has a few injuries, so that's Lee Norwood, I think. Yeah, Lee Norwood is hurt, not gonna play. Also, Dave Volek is hurt and not gonna play this game. So in net, the Blues have Guilbert and Curtis Joseph. So Cujo in net is pretty good, pretty solid. Paul Cavallini, Brett Edekan, Jeff Brown, Garth Butcher, Stefan Quintal, Rick Zombo. I'm not sure who that guy is. Jeff Batters. On the Philippe Boson, Dave Laurie, Prokhorov, Shannon, Leslie, Volek, Basson, Jani, Korolev, Sutter, Wilson, Emerson, Brett Hull, and Sutter. Alright. Yeah, they're better than us for sure. Alright, let's go ahead and play this in St. Louis. We are going with Wendell Young in net. They are going to go with Guilbert. Let's see if we can win our first game of the season and of our existence. Nope, we lost 4-2. At least we scored some goals again. But yeah, we lost 4-2 against the Blues. Alright, so St. Louis outshot us 36-26 in that game. Brett Hull was the first star of the game. He had a hat-trick, 3 goals. Adam Creighton was the second star of the game. He had a goal for us. And then Craig Janney was the third star with 3 assists. Alright, so we actually took a 2-0 lead into the first period in that one, making us feel good about ourselves. So Adam Creighton scored from Mike Hartman and Mark Bergevin, and then Danton Cole scored on the power play from Doug Crossman and Brian Bradley, and it was 2-0 Tampa Bay after 1. Then Brett Hull tied the game in the second period with 2 goals, and it was tied at 2 after 2. And then St. Louis scored 2 more goals in the third period, and that was tough for us, and we lost 4-2. Alright, so strong night for Brett Hull. As we saw, he had a hat-trick, and Joe Ricci is getting better at right defense. I don't have a lot of right shots on D, so I'm playing some lefties on the right, because I don't really have a choice. Alright, the next game is going to be in Toronto against the Leafs. Alright, so not a lot of news to report. So the winless Tampa Bay Lightning is going to be in Toronto against the Leafs. The Leafs are 1-2 so far. They are 9th in the Campbell Conference. Oh. Alright, so a couple things going on here with the Leafs. So Sylvain Lefebvre came to camp not fit to play, so ate a little bit too many hot dogs, probably with Wendell Clark, which is a running joke from my previous series with Franchise Hockey Manager 6, where Wendell Clark was unfit every season. And then Zemlichka is hurt and not gonna play. So Grand Fury is in net for Toronto with Felix Potvin, so that's a good tandem. Potvin, of course, is 21. Grand Fury is 30, but he's a 4.5 star goaltender there. Then on D, we have Dave Ellett, Todd Gill, the 5, McCown, Shannon, Mironov, and Rouse. Then up front we have Simeta, Wendell Clark, Krushalinski, Osborne, Zemlichka, Ashton, Gilmore, McElwain, Perrault, Zezel, Anderson, Borchevsky, Sacco, and Rob Pearson. Alright, so let's hope for a win here against the Leafs. Alright, so Wendell Young in net again for us, Grand Fury in net for the Leafs. And we lost 4-0, so we played 5 games and we got shut out in 3 of them. So yeah, I'm gonna need to make adjustments after this video. Alright, so we were outshot 29-15. Sylvain Lefebvre was the first star, he had a goal and an assist. Dave Ellett was the second star with 2 assists, and Wendell Clark was the third star with a goal and an assist. Alright, so not a whole lot going on for us here. Was there a fight or something to report? Nope. We just lost 4-0. Next! Oh. Jamie Oscroft, I think. Yeah, Jamie Oscroft is available on waivers. I'm not going to pick him up. Alright, so Igor Kravchuk has a strong game for the Blackhawks. He had 4 assists against Edmonton. Pretty good. Memorable night for Mario Lemieux with the Penguins. He had, just 4 goals and 5 assists against Montreal. That's one heck of a game. So 9 points for Mario Lemieux against Montreal. A night to remember for Kevin Stevens in that same game. He had a goal and 4 assists. Oh, Randy Wood in Buffalo got hurt. He's going to miss 4 months with a fractured ankle. Ouch. Must hurt. Bales and the Bruins agreed to terminate contract. The Boston and disgruntled goalie Mike Bales have agreed to mutually terminate Bales' contract. Bales is now a free agent and will reportedly consider offers overseas. A source told reporters, "I'm not sure exactly what caused the situation to deteriorate like it did, but both sides are glad it's now over." Wow, that's new. So I don't know if it would happen in the previous game, but you wouldn't get a news for that, so that's pretty cool. Alright, so Goverde and the Kings agree to move on from each other. Yeah, so that's kind of the same thing. So David Goverde, goaltender with LA. Musetti and the Flames agree to part ways. Jason Musetti, so again, terminated contract. Alright, that's cool. So instead of just trying to pass them through waivers, they're going to buy back players that are not doing right or that are too unhappy. Alright, so it's 2 games in 2 nights, so we're going to go ahead and play Pat Jablonski, this time against Buffalo. So we are in Buffalo for the last game of that long road trip. The Sabres are 2-2 this season, and we are going to take a look at their lineup. Alright, so Bob Sweeney is hurt. He's not going to be playing this game. And neither is Randy Wood, as we saw. He just fractured his ankle, so he's not going to play either. Right, so in net, we have Dominic Hasek and Darren Pupa. That's pretty good. Doug Bodger, Bill Older, Ledyard, Ramsey, Sutton, Smirnov, and Schmelik. We played those against and Svoboda and Bloomberg. Sorry, that's a lot of demon. We played those guys in the preseason. Andreychuk, Emelev, Maywood, Gordiuk, Corkum, Annan, Howardchuk, LaFontaine, Audette, Mogilny, and Wayne Presley. So another tough team. Eventually we're going to need to win a game. I need for Brian Bradley to open up the machine a little bit. He only has a point in 5 games. Alright, so we have Pat Jablonski in net. The Buffalo Sabres are going to go with Darren Pupa. Oh, and it's a tie. This is improvement, folks. We have tied a game. This is not a loss. Alright, so we tied 2-2 against the Sabres. And we did outshoot them to 31-26. Wow, so another game where we played pretty decently, apparently. Pat LaFontaine was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals. Rob Ramage was the second star with an assist. And Doug Bodger was the third star with 2 assists. Right, so Buffalo opened up the scoring in the first period, 10 seconds in, and we were all like, oh my god, again. But then Mike Hartman scored from Adam Creighton, and it was tied at 1 after 1. Then in the second period, Pat LaFontaine scored again, made it 2-1 Buffalo. And then there was a fight between Joe Rickey and Yuri Emelev. So that happened. And then in the third period, Ken Hodge scored to tie the game from Rob Ramage and Mark Bergevin. It was tied at 2. And we went into overtime. And of course, nobody scored because the game ended up in a tie. So our first point. I'm so proud. Okay, alright, so Randy Carlyle has earned 500 assists in his career. Got that against Vancouver. So 500 assists for Randy Carlyle, 36 years old, 2-star player still. And in that same game, Phil Housley also got his 500 assists against Vancouver. Phil Housley is a lot younger, too. He was also a better defenseman than Randy Carlyle. Well, more offensively inclined, I should say. And he is 28 years old, and he is a 4.5-star player. So probably a lot more. Oh, God, yeah, he had quite a night. Phil Housley had 3 goals and 3 assists, which, you know, is highlighted here as well. And Dmitry Ristich extends his goal streak to 5 games. He had 2 goals against the Senators. While Ottawa is also not doing too good, they are 0-5. Alright, and I'm gonna go ahead and change to put Wendell Young back in. There you go. Right, and we have a little bit of a break here before the Oilers come to town. Right, so speaking of the Oilers, Esa Tikkanen is suspension end. Strong night for Mario Lemieux. Yeah, of course, you call that strong. He did a lot better against Montreal earlier. That was against Hartford, 4 assists. Ray Bourque has a great game as well. He had a goal and 4 assists against the Kings. Cam Neely extends his goal streak to 5 games with 2 goals in that same game. And strong night for Peter Bandra playing for Washington. He had a hat-trick against the Sabres. Oh, we're better than the Sharks. We have a point and the Sharks don't have any. Look at us not being in the basement. We're pretty proud of ourselves. There was no stopping Mark Peterson, who had a hat-trick against the Jets. And Minnesota's Mike McPhee is suspended. He's going to miss 2 games. Alright, and Edmonton is now in town. We have not played the Oilers so far this season. They are 4-3 this season. This is good for 5th in the Campbell Conference. Alright, so Kelly Buchberger is not going to play that game. He is hurt. And so is Sean Van Allen, although he may or may not play that game. So in net, we have Bill Ranford and Ron Tugnut, Greg Allgood, Dave Manson, Luke Richardson, Jeff Smith, Marc Laforge, and Chris Joseph on D. Shane Carson, Gina Gilchrist, Klima, Melee, Simpson, Tikkanen, Beranek, McTavish, Nichols, Sean Van Allen, Scott Mellenby, Joe Murphy, and Stephen Rice up front. So yeah, hopefully we can win. They have a pretty good team. Now, I did put Wendell Young back in, right? I sure did. Look at me, remembering things. Alright, so Bill Ranford is going to be in net for the Oilers, and we are going to be going with Wendell Young. Back on home ice after a long trip. Maybe we can win this. And we did! The Tampa Bay Lightning, with their first ever victory against the Edmonton Oilers on home ice. A very convincing 6-3 win. That's pretty good. And we outshot Edmonton 33-27. Doug Crossman was the first star of the game. He had a goal and 2 assists. Sean Chambers was the second star with 2 assists. And Joe Rickey was the third star with an assist. So 3 defensemen for us got stars. 9,218 people in attendance for the first franchise victory. Brian Bradley scored in the first period from Sean Chambers and Danton Cole. And then Edmonton tied the game. So it was tied at 1 after 1. Then in the second period, Brian Bradley scored on the power play from Doug Crossman and Danton Cole, and then Rob DiMaio from Rob Zamuner and Brent Gretzky, 3-1 Tampa Bay after 2. Then there was a fight between Esa Tikkanen and Joe Rickey in the second period as well. Then in the third period, Edmonton scored, made it 3-2. Then Chris Contos scored from Joe Rickey and Doug Crossman. Then Doug Crossman from Chris Contos and Ken Hodge made it 5-2. Edmonton scored to come back to within 2 goals, made it 5-3. But near the end of the game, Rob Zamuner scored from Brent Gretzky and Sean Chambers. 6-3 was the final score. Nice. We won a game. Alright. Prolific passing night for Doug Gilmour, who had 4 assists against Ottawa. Alright, and now we are going to be hosting Toronto here. Nelson Emerson has a good game for the Blues. He had a hat-trick against Quebec. Alright, and now Toronto is in town. And they are now 4-3, which is good for 4th in the Campbell Conference. We already played Toronto this month, and it was a 4-0 loss. So hopefully, now that we're on home ice, we can avenge that and get ourselves a little win here. So they are going with Grant Fuhr again. We are going with Wendell Young. Oh, we lost 4-1. At least we scored 1, I guess. Alright, so shots were tied at 26 apiece. Zemlichka was the first star of the game. He had 2 assists. Joe Sacco was the second star with a goal, and Glenn Anderson was the third star with a goal as well. So Toronto scored first in the first period, then Doug Crossman scored on the power play from Brian Bradley and Danton Cole with 45 seconds left to go in the period, and it was tied at 1 after 1. Then in the second period, Toronto scored twice, made it 3-1, and then they scored again in the third period and made it 4-1. We never were quite in that game, except after the first. And it's another loss for the Lightning. Cam Neely extends his goal streak to 6 games. He had 2 goals against the Flames. And looks like we have a home and home against the Quebec Nordiques, except there's going to be 3 days in between. Alright, Dmitry Kavartalnov had a good game. He had 4 assists against the Edmonton Oilers. Cam Neely extends his goal streak to 7 games. In that same game, he had a goal and an assist. And Mike Gartner extends his goal streak to 5 games with the Rangers. He had a goal against Montreal. Alright, so we are going to be hosting the Quebec Nordiques. Nordiques are 4-1-2, so pretty decent record so far. They should have a pretty good team. Matt Sundin is hurt, so he's not going to be playing, so that might help us. He's pretty good. Stefan Fize and Ron Extall in net, Steve Duchesne, Stephen Finn, Kerry Hoffman, Curtis Lesishin, Craig Muni, Craig Wallanen, Alexei Gusarov, and Adam Foote on D, Mike Huff, Kamienski, Pearson, Cavallini, Lapointe, Richie, Sakic, Larionov. Oh, they signed Igor Larionov. And he has no points. Kovalenko, Nolan, Herb Raglan, Scott Young, and Dwayne Norris. Alright, yeah, there's some good firepower here, but we might be able to win this. Maybe. So Ron Extall is going to be in net for the Nordiques, and Wendell Young is going to be in net for us. And we lost 4-0. We're getting shut out quite a bit. Alright, we actually outshot the Nordiques 25-24. Joe Sakic was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals and 2 assists. Mike Huff was the second star with a goal and 2 assists, and Herb Raglan was the third star with an assist. Only 9,583 people in attendance for this game, which was in Tampa Bay. Alright, so not a lot to report. We didn't score. So another shutout against us. So we are having problems producing offense for sure. We get shots though, so that's not where the problem is. So I'm not sure it's the tactics as much as it's the personnel. Mike McPhee is back from suspension in Minnesota, and then excellent passing leads to productive night for Pierre Turgeon, who had a goal and 4 assists against the Hartford Whalers. Ray Shepard extends his goal streak to 5 games with a goal and an assist against Chicago. Adam Oates extends his assist streak to 8 games with an assist against the Canucks. And Tony Amante and James Patrick pitch in at local homeless shelter. So it is always good to see local athletes use their popularity and status for the good of the community. Today, Tony Amante and James Patrick pitched in at local homeless shelter, serving meals for hundreds of underprivileged citizens. It's the least we can do, added Amante. I don't do it because I'm a member of the Rangers. I do it because I care about the community. There's plenty of women and young children among these people, and giving them a hot meal uplifts me as well. Seeing the looks of appreciation on their faces makes it all worth it. So they are better people for doing that. Alright, so we are going to go on a short 2-game road trip. Then we're going to come home for one last game this month against the Sharks. Philadelphia's Johnson is not suspended, so Greg Johnson not suspended with the Flyers. Brett Hull has a good game. He had 4 goals and an assist against the Sharks. Pretty good game for Brett Hull. Phil Housley has a strong game as well. He had a goal and 4 assists against the Washington Capitals. And a great night for Teemu Selanne, who had 3 goals and an assist against Washington as well. Alright, so in Quebec, we just played them, so I'm not going to look at their lineup, obviously. It's going to be pretty tough. Maybe we can squeeze in a win. So Wendell Young is going to be in net for us. Ron Extall is going to be in net for the Nordiques. And we won! Wow! First road victory of the franchise. A 3-2 win in Quebec against the Nordiques. Alright, so they outshot us 34-28 in that one. Mikael Anderson was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals and an assist. Gino Cavallini was the second star with a goal and an assist. And Danton Cole was the third star with 2 assists. So Mikael Anderson scored in the first period from Brian Bradley and Danton Cole. And then he scored again on the power play from Doug Crossman and Roman Amerlik. 2-0 Tampa Bay after 1. Then in the second period, Roman Amerlik scored his first career goal from Mikael Anderson and Danton Cole, made it 3-0 Tampa Bay after 2. We were feeling pretty good. We even got into a fight. Mike Hartman fought Owen Nolan. That's pretty good. Took Owen Nolan out of the game for 5 minutes there. Then in the third period, Quebec scored twice, but they just couldn't tie the game, and 3-2 was the final score with our first road victory. Roman Amerlik converts to right defense. Alright, thank you. Alright, and it's a second game in 2 nights, so we're going to go with Pat Jablonski in net against the Abs. Now Montreal should be pretty good. Oh god, no. They're struggling. Montreal is 1-7-2 so far this season. What's going on over there? They had a pretty decent team that year. I mean, they won the cup, but alright, so Kirk Muller is hurt. He's not going to be playing that game. Patrick Roy and Frédéric Chabot in net. So we did play the Abs in preseason. So Patrick Roy, of course, is a 5-star goaltender. JJ Daniel, Kevin Otter, Schneider, Popovich, Brisebois, Desjardins, Odeline, Andy, Dion Leclerc, Lauer, Brunet, Carbonneau, Danfus, Di Pietro, Stéphane Lebeau, Brian Skrullen, Jesse Bélanger, Denis Savard, Brian Bellows, and Mike Keane. So there's still good players, but maybe the D is not all that great. I don't know. Well, let's see if we can beat them. So Pat Jablonski is going to be in net for us. Patrick Roy is going to be in net for Montreal. And can we make it 2 victories in 2 nights? No, we cannot. We lost 4-0. Another shutout. Alright, so we were outshot 27-24 in this game. Eric Desjardins was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. John Leclerc was the second star with 2 goals. And Vincent Danfus was the third star with 2 assists. And Montreal scored all of their goals in the first period, and that was that. Then we had 2 fights in the third period. Brian Bellows fought Sean Chambers, and then Gilbert Dion fought Mike Hartman. So, there, you have it. Uh-oh. No, that's not good. Brian Bradley is hurt. Yikes, I can't afford to have Brian Bradley hurt for any stretch of time. Let's go ahead and click on continue. I bet the news there is to tell me for how long. Oh, he's only day-to-day. Okay. Alright, so Brian Bradley is injured day-to-day for a few days, dealing with shoulder soreness. Okay. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Wendell Young back in net. And I'm going to keep Brian Bradley in that spot just in case that he starts feeling better tomorrow to play against San Jose. Probably not. Alright, so Adam Oates extends his assist streak to 9 games. He had an assist against the Kings. Memorable game for Michel Goulet with Chicago. He had 3 goals and an assist against the Flyers. And Jeremy Roenick in that same game as a memorable game. He had a goal and 4 assists. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is, again, I'm going to go ahead and pause. I'm going to fix my lineups, and I will be right back. Alright, so I ended up putting Brian Bradley on the injured reserve since he's going to be out for 1 to 2 weeks. I recalled Bobby Alec, but he's not the one that I dressed. I dressed Jason Lafreniere, and he's going to be playing on the first line. I know that sounds really crazy, but I've put him as a playmaker, and he's a better playmaker than Brent Gretzky, so we're going to go ahead and see what happens with that. It's only a temporary solution, of course. Brian Bradley's not going to be out for all that long, so it's going to be like, 5 or 6 games maybe, so hopefully we can sustain that. And we are about to play against the San Jose Sharks, and it is the last game of the month, so as I promised, that's going to be a gameplay game here. San Jose is 2-8 so far this season, and we are better than them because we have one more point. San Jose is last in the Campbell Conference. And they have, that's Doug Wilson. Yeah, Doug Wilson is hurt, not going to play in that game. So in net, it's Jeff Hackett and Arthur's Earbay. Then it's Patrick McLeod, I think. Pat McLeod. Yeah, Pat McLeod sends this as a lunch. Shendelev, Giles, Moore, Wilkinson, Williams on D, Barber, Kogivo, Garpenlov, Sweeney, Whitney, Peluso, Berezan, Evasan, Kelly Kisio, McDonough, Sullivan, Hoover, Falloon, and Snugrud up front. So it looks like they claimed or drafted Mike Peluso from the Sens. All right. I want to make sure I'm doing this right. So Jeff Hackett is going to be in net for San Jose, and we are going to go with Wendell Young. And let's go ahead and look at the game. Now, I have not used this yet, so I'm not sure how that's going to play out. I'm not going to change everything. All of my things are right. I'm gonna leave it at default and see how it plays out, and then I'm gonna adjust if it's too slow, too fast, or whatever. I'll go ahead and adjust before the next video. Oh, that's the period, I guess, there? I thought I was already up 1-0 or something. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look here. Alright. Oh, that's a little slow. I'm definitely going to need to speed that up. Oh. Oh, wow. Did you see how the Sharks, the 5 Sharks players all collapsed in front of the net? That must be their strategy. Oh my god, they have 3 guys on him and they can't take the puck away. Okay, I like that. That reminds me a lot of East Side Hockey Manager. Oh, come on, little guy. Yeah, that's very slow. Let's go ahead and speed that up here. Oh, that's better. Alright. Oh, good stop by Wendell Young. And again, oh ho ho, counter-attacking here. Oh, and there's little sounds too. Of course, I'm listening to. Oh, you guys can't hear the sounds because I have my desktop sounds turned off because I'm listening to music while I'm recording. If you absolutely want the sounds, let me know and I can pause my music before doing this next time. I mean, the sounds are not extraordinary or anything like that, so I don't think you're missing out that much, but if you want them, I'll just pause my music and give you guys your sound. That's fine with me. Alright, I sing. Alright. Looks like I blocked a lot of shots. Of course, the action's going a little fast, so it's not like super easy to follow, but otherwise we're gonna be here until Easter or something. Oh, Jason Lafreniere with a hooking penalty. Alright, so we're gonna go in penalty kill mode. Oh dear God. I was looking at the wrong team the entire time. It makes sense. I guess I got confused with the shade of blue from the Sharks. Alright, we're the black guys. That's so embarrassing. Alright, so we are in black, so we're not the ones that blocked all those shots. And the collapse in front of the net was me because that was my tactic. Okay. Oh boy. So we're not generating that much offense. I thought we were doing pretty good. I guess I got confused because the Sharks nowadays have a black jersey and, you know, we're... Anyway. Oh, come on, little guy. Nope. Yeah, we're having problems generating offense here. Oh, 8 from San Jose is probably Sandy Sutherland, and we just lost the puck there. Oh! Well, that was a shot from long distance. Alright, that's icing. Alright, let's win the face-off here and score. Alright, the first period's almost over. I'm now cheering for the right team, guys. Yeah, look at me. Not being confused anymore. Alright, alright, so it's 0-0 after 1 here. I think that I like that speed. I think faster than that would just give us epilepsy attacks or something. So I think I like this speed. I'm going to keep it like that. Of course, please feel free to let me know in the comments how you feel. Why are we going the same way? That's odd. Like, we didn't change sides, so when, you know, in hockey, the second period is the long change. Oh, that's a stop by Wilkinson, not Wilkinson, Wendell Young. I got confused with the text at the bottom. Apparently the 2D is confusing me profusely. Oh, no. He just dangled with the puck and lost it. Oh, come on, little guy. No. Oh, I thought he was going to get a breakaway there or something. Uh-oh. Oh, that was a shot from a long distance. There you go. Good stop by Wendell Young here. Now we're carrying the puck. Oh. What happened there? Is that an icing? No, it's not. Oh, good play by Roman Amerlik there. Oh. No, we didn't score again. Oh, you're not fast enough. Oh, trying to dangle 3 guys, that's rarely going to work. Come on. Oh, no. Oh, good save by Wendell Young. Oh, offside. Oh! Was that wide? Oh. So Neil Wilkinson... Who did he fight? Do I have to click play to see? No. Oh, okay. So I'm not sure who he fought, but there was a fighting major there. Alright, so they got that right. After a fighting major, it's still 5-on-5. But I'm a little bothered with the fact that it didn't switch sides for the second period. Come on, little guy. Is it a little guy or a little square? Come on, little square. Oh, Rob DiMaio took a penalty here. So we're going to be killing another penalty. Alright, come on, guys. Oh yeah, Wendell Young with the stop, and again, that's what I'm paying you the big bucks for. And Sandis Ozolinsh took a hooking call, so that negates their power play. There was 59 seconds left on it. Alright, so 4-on-4 hockey here. There's room on the ice. Oh, Amerlik with the shot, but it was stopped by Jeff Hackett. Oh, and we are now on the power play. Come on, guys. Don't allow a short-handed goal. There you go. Oh! He went by the defense. Oh, they cut him back. Ooh. Did it hit the post? Alright, we couldn't score on our power play. Oh! Alright, second period is over. Still no score. So the simulation, the 2D simulation is still not giving us goals. Hackett had 11 shots total, Young 18, so yeah, not a super offensive game. Alright, let's go ahead and start with the third period here. Still tied at 0-0, and of course we are still going the same way. Oh my, those benches are big. I didn't realize until now, like, the squares are all the way into the zone and everything. I don't know if they're meant to represent the bench, or if it's like the next line that's gonna come out or something. It looks odd a little. I'm not complaining. I mean, I like overall the little 2D action. I think it definitely needs a little bit of work, but overall I like it. Come on, break out, break out. Oh, you had the entire ice just to yourself. Oh. Alone with the goaltender and could not score. Oh. I want to see what a goal looks like. Come on, guys. Don't leave me hanging here. Oh, and it's a stop by Jeff Hackett. Oh, another stop for Wendell Young. Oh, no, okay. He held on the puck. Again, I don't know what a goal looks like, so I'm all over the place. Oh, breakaway! Oh, couldn't score. That was Roman Amerlik, too. Oh, it was icing. Alright. 10 minutes to go in the third period. Still no score. Can't believe Roman Amerlik didn't score on his breakaway. Oh, no. It always looks like they're gonna go like all alone with a goaltender, and then they just catch up with them. Uh-oh. Okay, they didn't score. Still 0-0. 6:20 to go in the third period. No score here in Tampa Bay. Whoa. Come on. Oh, Deanie Vason took a tripping call. We're going on the power play here. That's our chance to score and take the lead. Danton Cole took a penalty and our power play is over already. Oh well, 4-on-4 hockey. Oh, Rob Zabuner took a cross-check penalty. Now it's a 4-on-3 power play for the Sharks. I don't like that. There's a lot of room on the ice. Why is it 5-on-4? That shouldn't be 5-on-4. Those are not coincidental penalties. Come on. Come on, little guy. Wow, this is going to be a 0-0 game heading into overtime. Oh, that's offside. 36 seconds to go in regulation. Alright, and this is going to overtime. No score, so we got 17 shots on Jeff Hackett, and they got 24 on Wendell Young. So they've been playing a little bit better than us. Alright, overtime. Of course, this is 1992, so it's still 5-on-5 in overtime. This is not a bug, so that's okay. Now, the way that it was supposed to be a 4-on-3 power play. I don't know what happened there. They made it a 5-on-4 for some reason. Oh, what a save! Oh, lost the puck. Well, at least we're not getting severely outplayed. Oh, Dave Snuggerud slashing. We're going on the power play with 2:12 to go in overtime. Oh, there it was coincidental penalties, I guess. Because now it's 4-on-4. Wow, Amerdick again with the offense there. Another stop by Wendell Young, and I think we're going to have a 0-0 tie. And we sure did. Well, I'm sorry, the first 2D game, not a single goal was scored. And it ended 0-0. Okay, what's... Alright, so this is what it looks like here. So nobody scored in this game. So we do get a point out of this, at least, I guess. So San Jose got 26 shots. We got 20. Rob DiMaio was named the first star of the game. Dave Williams was named the second star of the game. And Mikael Anderson was named the third star of the game. And it was in Tampa Bay. We had 9,602 people in attendance for this game. Alright, so Neil Wilkinson fought Chris Contos. I couldn't tell who it is that he fought. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and click on continue here. Ken Udge improves at right wing. Cool. Okay, we're going to go ahead and sim all the way to November 1st. November 1st, sorry. Alright, so those are the scouting updates of players that are available that I could get. Brian Trottier is available, but he's a little old now. And then we are October 31st, so we are going to click on continue one more time. There we go. Adam Oates, assist streak, ended at 9 games, didn't get a point against the Blackhawks. Pat LaFontaine has a great game. He had 4 assists against Ottawa. And the players of the month were Mario Lemieux and Andy Moog. Alright, so we are going to take a look at our stats real quick. So we're not doing too good here with 6 points. That's kind of expected. We are a fresh new expansion team. Alright, so our best players so far are Doug Crossman and Danton Cole with 6 points each. And then it falls at 3 points for Anderson, Cantos, Artman. So we're not doing all that good, but we already knew that. Now let's take a look in the league, see if Mario Lemieux with his 9-point game is the best scorer. I see there's a good chance he is. The best goal scorers are Brettel, Mario Lemieux, and Teemu Selanne with 13 goals each. The best passer is actually Mikhail Pivanka with 15 assists. And the best player is obviously Mario Lemieux with 27 points so far this season. Wayne Gretzky has 22. Alrighty, so that was a very long video. I apologize for that. From now on, I'm probably not going to be talking as much as at the start. I just wanted to introduce my tactics and whatnot. So that's going to be a lot shorter for that going forward. So saving here. And, well, as usual, I do want to thank you for tuning in. And if you've liked the video, please feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment, all of that good stuff. And until I roll this game again, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.